Food trucks at a farmer's market, in my opinion, are a distraction. When the customers come to the market and they go to the food trucks and spend money at the food trucks, they're no longer hungry. They don't have any money. They've already spent it at the food trucks. And so
You heard the man. Food truck doesn't belong at the farmer market. Dan is a seasoned beekeeper with over 18 years of experience, and he did not hesitate to share his thoughts. When I arrived at the market, I was just walking around asking vendors what they thought about having food trucks there. Honestly, I expected most of them to be in favor of that idea, but I was in for a surprise.
and so they're not going to spend it at a food item at the farmer's market as readily. So if they're spending it there, they don't spend it here. What I would rather see than food trucks is I would rather see food prep type vendors at the market, especially unique food, like stuff from other countries, stuff from other cultures, things that you're not going to typically get elsewhere. So if they're doing that, they're actually spending money as part of the market rather than something that's separate from the market on these food truck vendors.
No more $20 hamburger with no seasoning. We need real food, authentic food, the kind you can taste and immediately know someone spent hours preparing it. No more deep fried onions. Cooking oil, that probably hasn't changed in days. But as much as I dislike them, I do think food trucks provide an essential service to the market. I would admit, I use them more often than I would like to. It is convenient, knowing that if you did not pack a lunch, you can grab something quick, and for the most part, you know exactly what you are going to get.
I personally think that it's a good thing that we have food trucks at farmers markets. One, I think that everybody should want to sell something and everybody should try to have an entrepreneurial spirit if that's something that they feel so inclined to do. And I also think that it attracts a lot more customers because people want to come here to get dinner with their family or their friends. And then why not just go look at all the vendors' booths after you eat your meal? So I think it's overall a very positive thing.
The farmer market is truly a diverse place, not just in the sense of the people who come through, but also in the type of vendor you will find and the product they offer. You walk down one aisle and see someone selling handcrafted soap made with lavender from the backyard. Take a few more steps and you will see fresh produce straight from a family farm. Next to that might be someone selling homemade tamales or freshly squeezed lemonade. It is a patchwork of passion, creativity, and hustle.
I think that having food trucks at farmers market can make it more difficult for food vendors to sell. So I would discourage markets from allowing food trucks and encouraging them and just keeping it homemade stuff.
And when I say it is diverse, I also mean in the opinions and perspective that exists in those markets. Every vendor has a different story, a different reason for being there, a different challenge they are facing. Some are full-time entrepreneur, others are side hustler, trying to see if the hobby can become something more. That's what makes the market special. It is not just a place to shop, it is a community of dreamers. What Maya says is true. Farmer market is one of the best and probably the cheapest way for someone to get their foot in the door when it comes to starting a small business. And she's right. Think about it. If you're starting from the scratch, no storefront, no big investor backing you, where else can you set up a shop for just $25 or $40 for the day and test your product in front of real customers? It is low risk, but the potential reward can be high. You learn fast, you make connections, you find out what works and what doesn't. And that's not just for tent vendors. That's good for food trucks too. Sure, a food truck might have more overhead than a vendor selling homemade craft or jam, but at the core, they are doing the same thing, trying to build something, trying to grow a dream. I truly believe that as vendor, we should support each other's dream, whether it is someone grill cheese out of a food truck or someone selling handmade candle under a canopy. We're all showing up, working hard, and hoping that each market will bring enough sale to justify coming back the next week. There is a shared growing here, a shared struggle, and we're all in it together. Now, where things get a little bit more complicated is when we talk about competition, space, and balance. It is easy to feel frustrated when a food truck pull up, takes up a huge footprint, and draw a crowd that seems to bypass your booth. But we have to remember, they are not the problem. The real issue isn't the food truck. The real issue is how the market is being managed. That responsibility falls on the market organizer. They are the one who decide how many food trucks to allow. They are the one who set the tone for what kind of experience the market provide. And they are the one who should be working hard to bring in enough foot traffic to justify the number of vendors, whether they are selling food, craft, or anything else. It is not about pointing finger at the food truck or the vendor. It is about accountability at the top. If a market is oversaturated with booths and truck, but doesn't have a crowd to match, that's not the fault of the people trying to make a living. That's on the organizer. Good planning means spacing things out, making sure there's a solid mix of products, and most importantly, investing in real marketing. Not just posting once on Facebook and calling it good. I'm talking about sign around town, local newspaper, coverage, radio, and email lists, collaboration with community group, real outreach. Because when that happens, everybody wins. The food truck get line, the vendor gets sale, the customer get an experience worth coming back for. But when there's no marketing, the marketing isn't bringing enough traffic, it becomes a struggle. It starts to feel like you're fighting for scrap. And that's not what a farmer market should be. This is not just about weekend sale. It is about building something real, something lasting.
I'm still driving. There you go. There you go. You got there eventually.
You have a different business now?
Yes, I do. I was gonna say, I just told her, I said, this is the guy that came by for you earlier.
Oh,
She goes,
what happened to the jewelry business?
I'm still doing it. I'm just switching it up here, but I'm doing jewelry at the other market.
Okay.
Find out what they've got. And we've got performances coming up here at 7:30. So don't go
Good
too
to
far.
see you, man.
Good.
Again, Mobile Golf.
Yep, mobile golf.
One of the
That's mobile
finest
golf.
in town.
We are the only in town.
Oh, there you go, you see?
That's right.
Innovation in the DNA right there, man.
Exactly right.
We like to disrupt things. We like to shake things up, right?
That's right.
I have been coming here for quite some time. I am a customer and I come strictly for the food trucks. And because my family is here eating, they wander over and I end up spending more over at the vendors. But my main reason is to come for the food trucks.
I did not pay her to say that. I was walking around near the food trucks when I saw this lady standing there, waiting for her food. I decided to talk to her. I like hearing what actual customers think. It helped me understand what's really going on. You can guess all day long, but nothing beats talking to the potential customer who actually show up. So I asked her, real casual, "Hey, what brought you out here today?" She did not even hesitate. She looked at me and said, "The food trucks." Just like that. She went on to say that this was her second time at the market. The first time, she came alone, bought some food, and brought it home, and gave some to her son. He tried it and immediately said, "Mom, can we go back and get more?" That's when she returned to pick more food, not just for herself, but for the whole family. That stuck with me because it lined up with what I have been thinking for a while now. Most people are not leaving the house on a Monday or Tuesday night at 6 p.m. in 90-degree heat just to buy sourdough bread or handmade soap. They are not saying, "Let me rush through traffic and sweat it out at the park because I really need a lavender bath bomb." But food, hot, ready to eat food, that get people moving. That's what pulled them out of the house. And once they have eaten, they check out the vendor booth. Maybe they see a 3D printing piece they like, or a piece of necklace, or some locally made body butter. Suddenly, they are shopping. The food get them in the door. Everything else is a bonus. It made me realize something a lot of vendors don't want to say out loud. We need the food trucks more than they need us. That is a harsh truth for some people. I get it. We all want to believe our product is the main reason people show up. But the reality is, food brings the foot traffic. It gives people a reason to come out in the first place. A night out, dinner with the family, something fun to do that doesn't require much planning. Once they are comfortable, once they have eaten and hanging out, that's when they start exploring. And honestly, I have seen it myself week after week. When the food truck section is busy, the whole market feels alive. When it is empty or half the food truck cancel, the energy drop. It is noticeable. The sales are slower, the crowds are thinner, and and vendors start looking around, wondering what is going on. That woman did not know she was confirming something I have been quietly thinking for a while, but she did. She spoke from experience, and sometimes that is more valuable than any sales report or social media post. She wasn't trying to make a point. She was just answering a question, but her answer said a lot. So if you're a vendor, especially one just starting out, keep this in mind. You don't have to compete with the food trucks. You can benefit from them. They bring the people. You just need to be ready when those people wander your way.